It is good to be in church. It is good to be in church. Can I hear you guys say it? It is good to be in church. Turn to the person next to you and say that. Turn the other way. It is good to be in church. It is good to have you all here, and I know that others are making their way here. It is, last week we had Reverend John Allen from First Congregational here, and he and I were talking, and we realized that is one of the traits of our churches, is that people in Milton arrive to their churches like 5 minutes late. It must be like a long-standing tradition still in the DNA of our congregationally based churches. I'm Reverend Hank Purse. I am your interim minister for just a little bit longer, and I thought, after years from now, you will say, and then we had that one minister, I can't remember his name, but he wore a kilt on the last Sunday he preached. So, you would remember this. Today is my last Sunday. Well, I'm here through the end of July, and I'll be preaching at the end of July. But next Sunday is Children's Sunday, when we celebrate our children and all of the teachers and everyone who's been part of the religious education program here, and we recognize also any of our high school seniors who have graduated, and so we'll be recognizing them. And then we also, and the week after that is Flower Communion Sunday, where we're going to invite you all to bring a flower to church on that Sunday as part of our closing ritual before we kick off summer services and summertime here at First Parish. But with that, I'm going to stop and I'm going to turn the service over to Pat Liz, who is our worship associate this morning.
I was going to wear my, can you hear me okay?
Maybe.
Sounds not on.
That's good.
I was going to wear my plaid skirt today. Saturday too.
I'm glad we called each other first.
Welcome everyone to First Parish. For those of you who don't know me, Hank just introduced me. I'm Pat Nelson, a member of the worship committee, and we thank you very, very much for being here today. We welcome any newcomers. Glad to have you here. There are some packets. Welcome new member packets in the pews. There's some contact information card if you'd like to fill it out, and maybe give it to one of our readers or put it in the collection plate and get to know you. That would be wonderful. Also to let you know that we have certified childcare right down the hall with some wonderful folks to take care of your children if you like. Also, we have some listening devices and large print hymnals at the entrance, and you can see your ushers. We have Carl Story, also Ruth Hyden, and Richard Benefit. Also, our greeters are Lisa White, helping out with reading along with Ruth. Our flowers this morning, beautiful flowers are from Frank Graham, in dedication to the missing girls of Nigeria. Also, to let you know that our announcements, one of the things that are going on in our church community are available in the green flyer that comes along with your order of service. Normally we have coffee hour after each service, but is Jen Leggett here? She's crazy. Okay, she's crazy. So anyway, Jen Leggett is the chair of the ministerial transition team. She's going to make an announcement, but just to let you know that today is really special because we have had Hank, I can't believe it's already 2 years, and so today is a celebration.
We've been waiting for you.
Come on, Sadie. Speak up. Okay, we can do that, right? So we're so glad that you dressed up in that special outfit because we're going to have quite a party today. So you did too. That's awesome. Oh, okay, sorry. We have quite a party set up. We are so excited to celebrate Hank with you all, and thank you for your many, many gifts you've given us over these last few years. I hope everyone's hungry, and we're going to go finish our little elving, and we'll see you all at 11:30.
Lastly, I want to Thanksgiving a generous welcome to spiritual practice, and I invite us all to extend that welcome to our neighbors by taking a few minutes to meet them. May the flame of the Spirit descend upon us so that our minds might be enlightened, our hearts warmed, our souls refined, and our spirits renewed. This morning, I'd like to invite you first up to help us with the challenge.
And then we'll do our hymn.
Please join us in the music call to worship. Come,
let us gather. We gather to celebrate the sacred within and among us. We come to seek spiritual growth and understanding. We strive to practice acceptance, forgiveness, and love. Together we work to build a world of justice and compassion. Come, let us gather together.
Would you please rise if you are able and join in singing our first hymn? You'll find it in the Silver Gray hymnal, number 108, My Life Flows On, an Endless Song, 108. Pitt's daughter Martha and her new husband Chris down in Jamestown, Rhode Island. It was a fantastic day. There were, like, everybody looked beautiful. There was great music, amazing food, and even a drone. It was my first wedding with a drone that flew over and took pictures of the couple and then flew away. It was nice too. And one of the things that I But I realized at that point, you know, I've been doing weddings for like 21 years now. When I first started doing weddings, I was marrying my friends, and then my friends' younger siblings, and you know, a few people from here and there at church, and I was, you know, I tended to be marrying people my age or around my age, and now 20 years on, I realize that I'm getting closer to the age of the parents. And I realized this as I watched Chris Pitt and his daughter Martha dancing, the father-daughter dance. And I thought, oh, someday, you know, perhaps maybe I'll be able to dance with our daughters if they get married. And what a joy that was. And what a joy it is to be able to be part of a tradition that really values its young people. And we get that all of us, whether we have young people in our own lives or not, to have young people in our religious community here that we're a part of. Because we get to see them grow up, we get to see them be dedicated here, we get to see them, next week we'll see them as they go through and acknowledge the various passages of life that goes on. It is such a gift. It is one it is a bittersweet moment for me as an inter-minister every Christmas Eve to stand at the back of a church and to see old friends greeting each other, old friends who grew up in these churches. And I hadn't met them before. They've come back from college, and they're greeting each other, and they're hugging. And I think back to when I was that kid who came back from college on that first Christmas Eve and got to see and reconnect with all these folks. It is such a blessing. I want our young folks who are here today to know what a blessing it is to have you in the life of this church. We hope that, and I hope that all the lessons that you've learned here you will carry with you for the rest of your lives. And I want those of you who will, not the kids who head off to college, but our young folks will be here. I want you to know that the same way that Teresa cared and loved for you when she was a minister here, and that I've cared and loved for you all while I've been here, that Reverend Lisa will care and love for you guys while she is here as your minister. All right. So with that, we're going to send you guys off to your classes and off to your classrooms for your classes and some preparation for things that are going to happen next week.
The poet writing in the aisle, a visitor from Hong Kong. I wonder if I can tell them anything, those people sitting in the pews.
I wonder if I can tell them anything, those people sitting in the pews. The artist turned seminarian, the artist turned teacher turned artist again. The musician who's been surviving in the gig economy long before that was even a thing. The executive who's been out of work and who hasn't told their friends. A professor who flies to New Jersey to teach, and another one who drives just down the road to teach. The teenagers suffering their first heartbreak, and those who have suffered more than one and have kept on loving. The divorcees and the divorcers. The new moms. The couple celebrating their 10th wedding anniversary and the couple celebrating their 50th. The husband praying for his spouse's health, and the community loving them. The parents seeing their children get married, and others seeing their children off to school. The parents who are not sure what they will do now that their children are out of the house. and the teens who have their whole lives ahead of them. And there is grief, and there is pain, and there is illness, and there is joy. And there are Canadians. So many Canadians. I wonder if I can tell them anything, those people sitting in the pews. There is a type of sermon called the leading train sermon. Do any of you know that term, the leading train sermon? It is a sermon given on the final day of a minister's time at a church. And that minister will climb into the pulpit and tell the church what they really think about them. And then they will climb down from the pulpit and walk out the front door and catch the first train leaving town. Well, this is not that kind of church, not that kind of sermon. I know you would love a big dramatic sermon where I finally spill all the beans and I point out where the skeletons are kept. But to be honest, there aren't that many beans to spill, and even fewer skeletons to show. No, today I get to say to all of you, well done, and keep doing it. Yes, that is the one thing I want to remind you all of, is to keep doing all the new stuff that you've been doing. Because, to be honest, the DNA of this place will tell you to return to your old ways, to turn inward instead of outward. I noticed it happening in the week leading up to when Lisa Ward came here, and through all the anxiety, all the pressure, all the worry, people started to turn inward again and rely on the staff more than they really should have. So I'm just reminding you not to do that. It's hard to do. It's almost as if it's in the walls. It's in the DNA. Deep in the DNA. So deep, in fact, last year, Dave Leggett and I were up in where we keep some of the archives of this church, up over where the youth room is, and we were looking through some of the files, and we found a file labeled The Cross. The Cross. There it is. And we opened it up, and the very first thing I see in this folder is a letter addressed to Reverend Pomeroy in 1944. And I opened up the letter, and what the letter basically said was, hey, what's up with this cross? Why do we have this cross up there? Now, what I want you to take away from this story is not that some members have questioned the presence of this cross since the time it was put up, but the fact that in the middle of the Second World War, members of this church were really concerned about the cross. You see what I'm pointing at? Resist the system, the culture that wants you to turn inward. Look out. Move out into this community, this place that needs you. You will be a better congregation because of doing that. And the town of Milton will be richer because you do it. Many people look at the changing culture of faith in our nation and throw up their hands and wail about the speed of change, but there's always been change. It's just affecting us in new ways. And so, the church has to adapt. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Our God does not promise us security. Our God promises us justice, and our God promises us new life, but our God does not promise us security and a life that doesn't change. Helen Keller wrote, "However dark the world may seem, we have the light of faith at our command, and it is ours to do with as we will. For faith is a brave look at the souls for new paths to life. It is not dogma. It is a white fire of enthusiasm. In its higher forms, faith is the kindler of all nobility. What we call security is mostly superstition. It does not exist anywhere in nature, nor does humanity as a whole experience it. Life is either a daring adventure or it is nothing. To keep our faces toward change and behave like free spirits in the presence of faith is strength undefeatable. What you are going to need to do, what great gift that you are going to give to your new minister, what great gift that you all are going to give to each other, is to ask the question, what is our values? What is it that we value? Not the values of the market society, not the values of one of the political parties. What are your religious values? You get to ask yourselves that. And if you're not sure what your religious values are, stop and talk to the people here. Make sure you take time these next few years to really find out what it is each of you believe in. It's easy for you to find out what the minister believes in. You can ask all sorts of questions about what you think Reverend Lisa believes in. Not that it really matters, because we tend to project our own beliefs on whoever is the minister here. But you all need to figure out what your values are. And once you have taken care of that, then you can think about what the purpose of this place is. You can align the values of this church with how you want to be in the world. You can keep asking yourselves, are we behaving as we say we believe? Are we behaving as we say we believe that we want to? And if you aren't behaving the way that you believe, change it. Change it. What a great joy, what great freedom we have in this faith to change the direction of our religious communities. One of the great things about me leaving, or any minister leaving, is that I get to take away with me your stories. Not so I take your stories and bring them to some other church, but instead I get to take your stories and you get to create new stories about yourselves. I get to take with me your story about your surgery. And when Reverend Lisa comes, you get to tell her your story of being a survivor. I can take with me your story about addiction, and you get to tell Reverend Lisa your story of recovery. I take with me your stories of fear and grief and loneliness. Not that you won't experience them again, but I'm giving you the opportunity to reframe your experiences. I'm giving you a chance to think about how you are and how you have been and how you want to be. If you've been wanting to change and have been looking for a sign, well, here it is. This is the sign. Take my leaving as a sign for you to change what you've been doing. Take this as a clue to begin your own transformation. This is a wonderful community. A really wonderful group of folks. My time in Medford, where I was for 12 years, was difficult. There were some really difficult decisions that had to be made, and it wasn't always fun. But I left there with joy in my heart. And then I went to Westford, the next church I served. Another wonderful place, but very different from Medford. And I had to meet with those folks. And, well, being the minister there, I also had to work out all my issues that I had brought with me from Bedford. And now I'm here. I've been here with you all for almost 2 years, which, as Pat said, that's crazy to think about. 2 years here with you all. And I get to see your changes and see how you all have reached out. And, and I want you to know that I'm not just saying that you all get a chance to transform and retell your stories, but I do too. I don't have another church that I'm stepping into right away, so I've taken it as a sign from God to say, you need to take a little bit of a sabbatical yourself. You need to look at the way that you've been doing ministry, do things differently. I'm taking my leaving here as a sign as well, a chance for me to transform, to try out different types of ministry, to do perhaps more community ministry. And I am so grateful that I've had a chance to be here with you all and to work with your wonderful staff. You guys hire really well. Have I told you that? You hire really well. You've got great staff. It makes sense. You're good folks. It's been so much fun. So much fun being here. It's been like getting paid to eat ice cream. Reverend Lisa is very lucky to be called by all of you. I am so grateful for your compassion and your love that you've shown me these last 2 years, your support and your good wishes, and I know there is greatness in this wonderful old church. And that greatness is not the old church, it is the people who sit in the pews here Sunday after Sunday who reach out to one another. May the Spirit, known by many names, continue to bless this church and its members all the many years to come. Amen. We're going to sing our next hymn. You'll find it in the Silver Grade hymnal. It's number 114, Forward Through the Ages, 114.
Oh
Thou nameless one, today my heart is heavy with sorrow and light with joy. Sorrow for leaving this pulpit, sorrow for causing grief if there be any so. Sorrow that I always want the party to go on a little bit longer, but I know it can't. Eternal Spirit, I am joyful too. Joyful for all that we have been able to do together. Joyful for all the new beginnings. Joyful at the call of Reverend Lisa Ward. I'm grateful for all the love that we have shared. God, thank you for this church, where believers and non-believers gather to express their faith. Thank you for this loving church. I hope that they have learned from me as I have learned from them. And I hope they feel connected to the living tradition that we share. Bless the people of this congregation and of this town as they grow and change and become the people that you need them to be and that they need to be. Great Spirit, allow us to know that you move in possibilities and in promise. We give thanks for all that has led to this moment and for all that is yet to come. We give thanks to this congregation that has seen and embraced so much change, and for all those who have sustained this community of faith for many years past and for generations to come. We ask and hold up in prayer Martha Pitt and Chris Fortin, whose wedding I was honored to perform this past Friday. We also offer our prayers and our blessings to all the young people who are graduating from Milton High School today and from Milton Academy this coming Friday. Kiki Giadas celebrates the life of her friend Sandy King, a dear friend and a die-hard Unitarian Universalist. Frank Graham asks us to remember the blessing of Anne Marie's life. We also remember the great spirit and wisdom of Muhammad Ali, the greatest, here on the start of Ramadan, the Muslim period of prayer and reflection. God, I ask that we may learn to go out into the highways and byways, giving the people something of our new vision. For we may possess a small light, but let us uncover it so that it shines, and then we are able to use it in order to bring more light and understanding to the hearts of men and women. May we give them not hell, but hope and courage, and preach the kindness and everlasting love of God. Amen. Let us be together in silence for a few moments. Our faith is a grand vision of a world filled with peace and justice, love and joy. That vision is embodied in the congregations like this one. Every congregation depends on each of its members. Each one of you, by your commitment of time, energy, and resources, help make that grand vision real. Individually and together, we are building a world filled with peace and justice, love and joy. The offering will now be given, and joyfully received.
Good morning. I just wanted to say a few words about this song, which is by Marcy Heisler and Zena Goldrich, a wonderful songwriting pair. I sang it many years ago when I had just become a mother and was in a lot of a discernment process. I just finished my second year of seminary, and this morning I sort of thought, oh gosh, I'm singing this morning, and I looked around for something to wear, and these were the shoes that were most appropriate. My daughter was very alarmed by these high heels that I'm wearing, and I thought to myself, well, it's either this or Birkenstock stuff. So, so here I am to say that was one discernment process of the day. But I wanted to really dedicate this song, even though it's more of a musical theater song that Tim and I were emailing. This is appropriate in a sacred setting. But I want to dedicate it to our graduates and also to Hank as you're moving through this next transition. And really lift it up as a prayer of courageous, that's really about courageous discernment. Our worship theme is truth. So it's a prayer for listening and a prayer for truth.
Listen to the music of your life.
Unitarian Universalist ministers in our movement, and I never knew him, but I knew his family, who were and continue to be just wonderful, wonderful people, and this is a great song for sending us all out with. Number 295, Sing Out Praises for the Journey, 295.
Our worship is over. Our service begins. Go in peace.